We're buzzing with basketball in Bartow. It's the 10th annual Stinger Shootout. And it's live on Bright House Sports Network, presented by Subway Restaurants. Tonight, the number 10 Berkeley Prep Buccaneers will take on the number 4 Auburndale Bloodhounds. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bartow. I'm Jeff Radcliffe alongside Andrick Frazier, and we got a special treat. This tournament's been going on, the Stinger Shootout, for the last 10 years. Features the best of Polk versus the best of the rest of the state. What do we got tonight in this matchup?
Well, really tonight you have two of the best teams in the state competing in their respective classifications. You have a team in Auburndale that's kind of the new kid on the block over the last decade, and Berkeley Prep that's been slumping a little of late, but they're hungry going into district play.
Yeah, you mentioned the Buccaneers. They started the season 14-0, but have since lost 6 of the last 10. I think Marshall Holmes is a guy that can get them back on track before they go into district play.
Well, Marshall Holmes is a very streaky basketball player, but he has the ability to score 30 on a given night, can shoot the basketball very well from the outside. If Marshall scores, it makes things a lot easier for Berkeley Prep. He needs to get going early.
On the other side of the coin, you've got the Auburndale Bloodhounds, a Bloodhound revival, if you will, and those Hounds are trying to sniff out their first district title in 27 years. And I know Elmo Stephen, he's a forward, and he's a guy we're both tickled to see in action tonight.
You know, he's 6'8", very difficult to guard. Even though he starts in the post for them, he can step out and shoot the ball with range. A very difficult defend tonight for Justin Gray.
So Auburndale at 22-2, taking on Berkeley Prep right here on Bright House Sports Network. It is the Stinger Shootout. We've set the table for you coming up, starting lineups and tip-off between Berkeley Prep and Auburndale on Bright House Sports Network.
The Bright House Sports Network Game of the Week is presented by Subway Restaurants. It's a whole new February Annie at Subway. Stop by today for $5 and $6 footlongs. Subway, eat fresh.
We're at Bartow High School, live basketball on Bright House Sports Network, our Subway Restaurants Game of the Week. It's the Stinger Shootout. We're picking up the action. Berkeley Prep taking on Auburndale. And let's check the starting lineups, Andrick Frazier. We've got Berkeley Prep with a high-flying lineup. See, Justin Gray, we have talked a lot about him all season long, a very special player. He's one of the starting guards in that lineup for Berkeley Prep. Aaron Hannon gets the start in place of Craig Bowman tonight for Berkeley Prep as well. Then for Auburndale on the other side, we talked about Elmo Stevens in the open. Keon Clearjou, the freshman, is starting tonight. He turned his ankle a couple of nights ago. We weren't sure if we were going to see him, but he is starting tonight, ranked the 11th best freshman in the state of Florida. Both of these teams loaded as far as their lineups go.
Yeah, definitely some talented young men that we'll be watching in front of us this evening.
And you're looking at the back of Bobby Reinhardt in his 13th season there at Berkeley Prep. It's over 200, close to 250 wins at that school. Likes that up-tempo offense. And on the other side, Eric Robinson in his 11th season as the head man at Auburndale, 17th season overall. He is an Auburndale High School alum and was more known for playing football before basketball, but he's happy to continue this tradition as Auburndale's really having their best season they've had in years.
And Coach Robinson has really had a tough go at it, or bad luck of the draw, if you want to call it, having to be stuck at times in the same district with Lake Wales and Bartow before Bartow moved up a couple of years ago. So he's had to take his lumps over his brief coaching stint so far at Auburndale, but he has a squad that has a pretty good chance of making their way up the road to Lakeland.
Eric told us the key this season was beating Lake Wales. They were able to do that. They're 1-1 this season against their rivals. Again, their last district title, 1986, and they're in good shape to get it this year. They got the top seed in that district by virtue of a coin toss with Lake Wales. So we set up. Berkeley Prep is the road team. All the Polk County teams are the home teams in this tournament. So Auburndale wearing the home whites as they get ready to tip it off. A pair of 23s, James and Gray, and we'll have to redo things as they jump the gun just a little bit.
And for those who don't know, Derwin James is already committed to play football at Florida State. He's one of the best athletes I've ever seen in person.
Initially won that tip. And it will stay with Auburndale as we now open up play. Finally, we are underway. 2013 Stinger Shootout at Bartow High School into the backcourt. A turnover. He was on that baseline. It will come back the other way to Auburndale.
One thing about this Berkeley Prep ball club, they are going to get after you defensively. It's a well-conditioned ball club, and they're going to play a lot of full court man-to-man.
The Hounds bring it up the court with Allen St. Louis. Over on the wing, Rosemont Alexis backs out. He was guarded by Gray, who's long and lanky in that defensive posture. Turnaround shot along the baseline, rattles in and out. Rebound by Berkeley Prep. Comes back out. Justin Gray kicking out down the baseline, up, and can't get the layup to go. A whistle and a foul underneath.
See why Justin Gray is so special. Ability to be physical enough to come down with the defensive rebound and initiate the break. And Marshall Holmes is coming up short on the challenge lane.
Check that, no foul, just a turnover along the baseline once again. Just underway, no score. Auburndale and Berkeley Prep. The Buccaneers have lost 6 of their last 10, including a 2-point loss to Tampa Prep last night. Nico Adams thought about the shot out there on the wing. Aaron Cannon, rather. And Auburndale breaks the other way. In the corner, spot up 3 is on the way and down. John Barrett's got 3.
It's Auburndale ball club that hung over 90 points on Bright House Sports Network against Lake Wells, so they can score the basketball.
And Berkeley Prep turns it over on the traveling violation. So 3-0 our score early. Now Auburndale, as we said, having the season of seasons, 22-2. One of the favorites in Class 5A this year. St. Louis at the point guard spot for Allen. So as Clergeau did not start, you don't see number 4 out there. Reverse layup is good for Auburndale. And that goes to James, his first bucket.
Dorian James works as hard as anybody on the court. Might not look pretty, but it's effective.
High pressure defense that leads to a foul. Foul called on number 13. St. Louis, not the place, but the kid.
Sure it's not St. Louis?
Could be St. Louis.
No.
Is he French? that would, if you were a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, it would be St. Louis. Ball will stay with Berkeley Prep. Alexis picks up the personal. His first, team second now. And Auburndale comes away with another steal. They have the ball in a 5-point lead. On the way, Elmo Stevens. Elmo Steven couldn't get the shot to fall. Coming the other way quickly, Justin Gray, who had a 31-point night last night. Holmes' first bucket for Berkeley Prep, and it will stay with Auburndale. 5-2 our score.
Nnamdi Green just could not wrap his hands around that rebound.
I always said Alexis. Nice cut inside, and it's turned over. Berkeley Prep coming the other way quickly. Chris McWilliams pulls up. And foul on the floor. McWilliams, a 5'9" sophomore, for the shot. Inbounding. Nearly losing it was Hannon. 3 on the way. That was an air ball. Not sure if the defender got a piece of it or not.
You really have to wonder, you know, legs are going to play a big factor in tonight's contest, especially for Berkeley Prep. I mean, that was an overtime game they played last night against Tampa Prep. Always emotional, coming up just short, dropping that game 72-70. So it's a quick turnaround against a tough opponent.
So we asked that to pose that question to Coach Reinhardt earlier this week. You're playing in this tournament. You got 3 games in a week before district play. Is this a good or bad thing? He says it's good.
Good thing for Berkeley Prep is they're in a 3-team district, so that'll be a short district tournament.
Exactly. shot does go, and Berkeley Prep's now within one. Pace has picked up considerably now. 1 point lead for Auburndale. They've got the ball. It's Barrett on that wing. Tries to use the screen. Shot up, and it will be a foul call, and free throws upcoming.
That's just a great execution by Auburndale on the screen and roll. The patience of John Barrett to come off the screen and hesitate and allow enough time for Derwin James to roll down the rim. Then you can just see Derwin James being physical, initiating contact and being rewarded 2 opportunities from the charity stripe.
And he misses the first. James a 39% free throw shooter, so that was a good defensive play by Berkeley Prep. Second one off the mark as well, and the rebound comes down to Marshall Holmes, and quickly moving the other way. We know that Berkeley Prep likes to play fast, and in that case they nearly turn it over. Trailing by 1. Inside shot does not fall for Nnamdi Green, and Auburndale comes away with it. Elmo Stephen carries it up court. He is guarded by Gray. Bunch of lanky fellows on both sides of this affair.
Well, and Stephen and Gray, I think you have really two guys that right now have the physical stature and the ability to play basketball at the Division I level. And watching these 2 guys matched up against each other today is a treat for our viewing audience.
No kidding. James picks up the personal. It's Bartow's 3rd team foul. And the Bloodhounds will inbound the basketball underneath the basket. As Barrett does the honors. Nearly losing the handle out on the wing. They work it inside. James. Shot up. A tough shot, and he gets it to go. 7-4.
This is a strong move by James, backing down his defender, putting him in the rim.
James with 4. 3 from the wing, off the mark by Gray. Or Chris McWilliams, rather. And it pushes the call underneath. And the Berkeley Prep bench did not agree.
I think they're actually calling Marshall Holmes on the ride on the attack to the rim. The foul's on him and not on McRoberts.
Now, why would you call a ride in that situation?
Well, if he doesn't have a saddle, you're not allowed to ride.
Ba-da-dum, 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 bum. This isn't Bonanza, you're saying. Can't ride him all the way. Free throw is on the mark. And it's a 9-4 contest here. 3:34 our opening quarter. Here comes some full court pressure. Berkeley Prep able to beat it. Leaving it up top. Shot is off the mark again. Holmes. And Auburndale quickly moving the other side. Here's Stephen into the paint. And can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound, not once, but twice. How about change for $1, young man? Elmo Stephen.
Well, that's just sticking with it, not giving up on the play. Nice move to the basket. Didn't get the initial one to fall, but knows for the offensive rebound.
Auburndale by 7. Oh, long ball, that is short. Maybe those tired legs factoring in as Jacob Mathis let that one go. Auburndale controlling this one early.
So both teams have making sure they get some fresh bodies in, making sure fatigue's not a factor.
Inbound underneath the basket. Have to hurry to get that off. Bowman. Nice move. Gray can't get it to go. Again, Gray, 31 points last night. How much does he have left in the tank? All the other way for Auburndale. 2 plus the 1. And give it to Darrell Henry.
See the senior here just taking advantage on the other end of the freshman Jacob Mathis with an inside-out move, using his shoulders to protect the basketball. Strength to finish, an opportunity for a three-point play.
Timeout on the floor. That gives us time to talk about what we've got coming up tonight. This is an 11-game tournament. We have 2 more for you coming up immediately following this contest. We got number 2 Tampa Prep taking on the hosts with the most, number 3 Bartow, and then that will be followed up by number 9 in our Central Florida viewing area, Dr. Phillips, taking on number 6 in our Tampa Bay viewing area, Lake Wales. So bunch of doozies, as you would call them, some big-time teams playing in this tournament.
A lot of underlying stories in both of these teams. I mean, in the second matchup of our broadcast, you have 2 USF signees that are going up against each other. You know, Chris Perry, the 6'8" forward from Bartow, versus Josh Heath, the son of Stan Heath. See a picture there of Mr. Perry with his Beats by Dre tuned into the action.
Just waiting in the wings, killing time.
You know, then on our last game of the night, you have Rashawn Powell, Dr. Phillips, going up against Lake Wales, where his father was an alum.
Free throw is good. It's now a 10-point lead for the Bloodhounds. Inside, again, shot off the mark. And the ruling is it will stay with Berkeley Prep. Yeah, you know a lot about those former USF Bulls, having starred there yourself right there, Hendrick. You got to plug your old school.
You got to make sure you stay in contact with your roots, Jeff.
Thinking about that long shot was Bowman. And a whistle underneath. And a push, the call. Alexis picks up the personal. Fourth team foul on Auburndale. Way out. This is Gray. A big guard by any standards. Justin Gray, 6'4". Marshall Holmes. And Aaron Hannon again getting the start tonight for Berkeley Prep.
Berkeley Prep attempting to space out Auburndale and take them off the dribble, not getting enough movement. Great help side defense, but better shot by Justin Gray.
Swishes the pull-up J from about 15 feet. Justin Gray's on the board, and it's 14-6. And another turnover on Auburndale.
Justin Gray here using his size, triple threat position, jab step, 2 dribble pull-up. This is what happens when you're under control.
Builds confidence, doesn't it?
And that's a very difficult shot to master. You see, most players want to try to continue to take the basketball all the way to the rim or shoot the floater. But that's a shot that if you can master, a la Ray Allen, you can play basketball for a long time.
Creating your own shot, that's the key, especially at the next level. Thinking about a 3, it is a little short off the iron. Rebound battle underneath. And Mathis just... Clergeot, who is limping a little bit, just sent it off the defender to make sure his team had possession. So Clergeot in there now. Freshman point guard who only saw action this year because Rashad Jones was ruled ineligible, and he's paid dividends for Coach Robinson. And an offensive foul to call. And that's on Steven.
And again, and Justin Gray sticking his nose in it defensively. Elmo Steven attempting to create space.
Little forearm shiver. Berkeley Prep will inbound, pressure coming. Trailing by 8. On the outside, long shot on the way, again off the mark. Berkeley Prep hasn't found that outside range yet. And that one's turned over in the center of the court. And pulled down again. Another missed shot. Auburndale the other way. A blocked shot does not quite fall for Darrell Henry. And the foul on Reichand. Henry goes back to the line.
Berkeley Prep typically has had an easier time this year scoring the basketball, and I really do have to believe you know, fatigue is playing an impact on their ability to shoot the basketball. I mean, this is a pretty good shooting team, and they have not displayed that so far in this contest.
Down under a minute here in our first quarter. It's still an 8-point contest. Gray brought it up court. In there now, Rob Freedy as well. Substitutions coming in for both sides. That one another in and out. Auburndale's got it, 38 seconds to go, first quarter. 5th rebound now for Auburndale. And we're down under a half minute. Steven playing a little back and forth catch with Rosemond Alexis.
Berkeley Prep falling back into a 2-3 zone. Now they're going to match up.
Down to 13. Steven dribbles. Will make his move right now. Working in on Bowman. Crosses over. Steven to the basket. A whistle before the shot, and he walked with the basketball. So Berkeley Prep will get a shot here with 5.1 on the clock.
Marshall Holmes checking in to try to give Berkeley Prep a crack at chipping into this 8-point lead.
Holmes will inbound for Berkeley Prep. Have to get it up quick here against the pressure. Gets it into Justin Gray, down to 4 seconds, crosses midcourt. Gray pulls up from NBA range and misses it. And we end the first quarter there. 14-6 our score. The Bloodhounds leading the Buccaneers. You're watching the Stinger Shootout on Bright House Sports Network. We'll be back. We're back in Bartow, the 2013 Stinger Shootout. Berkeley Prep and Auburndale, a 14-6 contest. It is one of the biggest days for a high school athlete. Join Bright House Sports Network for National Signing Day 2013. That is coming up Wednesday, February 6th, with live hourly updates at the top of every hour starting at 6 a.m. Bright House Sports Network is your home for high school sports. And on our website, bhsn.com, you can check in on all the polls. Our latest BHSN Top 10 poll. Boys basketball, we got 2 of the top 10 on the floor right now. Auburndale at 22-2, number 4. Berkeley Prep, number 10. And right now, it's number 4 beating number 10, 14-6. Auburndale with the lead and the ball. Jeff Radcliffe, Andrew Frazier, the rest of our Bright House Sports Network crew, thanks so much for joining us on this Super Bowl Eve. Nothing like basketball. Auburndale up by 8 with the ball. Good tempo from both of these teams.
Great trap in the corner.
And points scored for Henry. He's got 5.
Well, Derrick Henry seems to love that right block. Done all his damage from that exact spot.
Henry, the senior forward. Berkeley Prep quickly gets into their offense at the other end as they're down 10 once again. Pull up from 3, and Holmes can't get it to go. Cold shooting continues. Auburndale with that 10-point advantage, looking for more. And a reach-in foul, the call on Berkeley Prep.
Berkeley Prep just ice cold in Bartow, 3 of 17 so far in the contest.
That won't win a lot of games. Inbound far side. Just underway, second quarter. 10-point lead for Auburndale, turnover. McWilliams flies in and can't score it. Auburndale quickly the other way in transition. Pulled up and blocked. As James got a hand on it, but that shot did fall on the follow. You kept with it.
No, good defensive play by Justin Gray and Elmo Stevens chasing down the loose ball.
Behind his back goes Gray. Reinhardt calling for a timeout. And another shot is missed underneath the basket. Whistle and a foul.
Nnamdi Green working the offensive glass. A lot of contact on the drive by Marshall Holmes. Nnamdi Green anchoring down and gathering position.
Alexis picks up the foul. That sends Berkeley Prep to the line. Missed the free throw.
Here we see a 2-2-1 half-court trap by Berkeley Prep.
John Barrett, he was hounded. They went to trap him.
Auburndale here up 18-6, 9 turnovers so far in this contest.
And still leading substantially.
It's the only reason Berkeley Prep's in shooting distance.
Berkeley Prep trying to get those shots to fall. There's Bowman, guarded at the top by Barrett. They continue to work it around. Be patient. Every time they go inside, they're met with white jerseys immediately. And watch out.
Justin Gray getting a little up close and personal with our camera crew.
Yeah, Michael taking one for the team. See what it looked like from his perspective. Easy. Well done. Everybody's okay. No harm, no foul. Auburndale inbounds the basketball. Keon Clearjaw. Well, three-quarter court press. Break it easily. Nope, turn it over. Holmes to Bowman. Lays it in easy. And we're back to a 10-point contest.
Auburndale not doing a good job of getting into the open spots.
That's our 7th team foul. So we're into the 1-1 situation for Auburndale.
They're just a lazy pass in the middle by Clergeot, and Marshall Holmes coming up with the steal, and Craig Bowman finishing for 2.
So Barrett goes to the line, the 69% free throw shooter hits the first. Barrett, the third-year player, second-year starter, misses the second. And how about Elmo Stevens? Stevens got 6.
All starts with Derwin James is active on the offensive glass.
Strong could hoop that time, and that's what Marshall Holmes can do. Take it down the baseline and score it easy. They're turning up the pressure on defense. And Holmes again. And this is what Bobby Reinhardt said. If we play good defense, that leads to good offense.
Well, Berkeley Prep has not done a good job of knocking shots down from the outside. So what do? You create easy offense. And it all starts with quick hands on the defensive end. Craig Bowman with a little pastry served on the dish to Marshall Holmes.
Well, 21-12 our score. Auburndale in control, but they've gotten a little sloppy here in recent minutes as Berkeley Prep tries to get back in it. Hey, sports fans, what's the best way to keep up with the best in high school sports? Like BHSN HD on Facebook. Bright House Sports Network is your home for high school sports. I liked Bright House Sports Network a long time ago. Job requirements.
I just wonder if that's how you were rewarded. Was with the job.
Exactly. You like and you get a job. If it were only that easy. Auburndale breaks the press. 3 on the way, and that one is an air ball. But who else? Stephen with the rebound and the bucket.
You know, that is the one thing when you initiate half-court pressure, especially when trapping. Weak side rebounding is a key, and Berkeley Prep not doing a good job.
And Steven averages a double-double, 20 and 10. He's got 8 and 7 right now. With just under 4 to go in our first half, throwing it up and drawing the foul. And Darrell Henry can't believe he was whistled for it, but he certainly
Marshall
initiated
Holmes,
contact.
I think, tweaked his ankle earlier, and here just a little play out of Reggie Miller's book here. Kick the right leg out.
So 3 shots awarded to Marshall Holmes. Makes the first, got the lead to 10.
I hope this is something he can shake off, not just for this contest, but for this week. You know, they were tied for the #1 seed in their district with Tampa Catholic and lost a coin flip, so they're forced to play a game against Sarasota Booker.
Second one is down. Marshall Holmes offensively really the only threat so far